that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bed love.
You gotta pull one ear off like the DJ when you do that, Ed.
Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
Word to your mother. Okay, welcome to the tavern, everyone. I'm Travis Sivart. I have just published the 4th or 5th book in the Portal series, and Silver and Smith is blossoming as I'm plotting and planning book 3 and 4 of that. Check those out wherever fine books are sold or at TravisSivart.com. My vices tonight is some dark cherry Cavendish tobacco in a lovely wood green pipe, and a big old heaping glass of all-American bourbon and water. Hey, speaking of things, though, look at that. I got a, let me just show this off to chat there, because we do have a live chat. Kind of hard to see. Let me put something behind it. I got, there we go, the Tavern Society logo on my pint glass. Just got those in today. I was so excited. Got one with Cogsley on it, too. What about you, Andrea? She got her hands full. She's muted. She don't know what she's doing.
You.
We're not sitting in the same room together.
I mean, yeah, we are.
Andrea Lachat here. My vices. I'm knitting. I have say, and I have tea.
Okay, what do you got?
I've got ginger ale, and I had something snappy to say, but I fucking forgot what it is. I'm getting old, forgetful. So, Bree has Diet Coke and water though. But anyway, let's do this thing.
Usually, I don't mix my Diet Coke and water. I mix like bourbon and water, bourbon and Diet Coke, but not Diet Coke and water. So, hello to everybody hanging out in the live chat. We've got Bree, we've got Joe, we've got Maria. And we've got, I don't know who's ever lurking. So hello to everybody. Thank you for that. Now I have a big fucking fat ass cat in front of me. What's that?
In front of
Oh, yeah.
It's always nice to have a big pussy.
Yeah, this one's got a dirty butthole, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. It's rough. It's a hard knocks life. Where was I going? Right, I'm cranky today. So I am ready to do some bitching about this next topic, but I really think we're going to have a good time, all of us fucking bitching about it. And I'm going to drink and smoke and swear. So.
See, you had me there for a minute. You said all of us were fucking. I was like, yep, we're going to have a good time. Then you had to add something.
Looks like after this, folks, we're going to head over to our fans only page and move into the next thing. Yeah. It's okay.
Fans
make money.
Fans.
They wouldn't have us on OnlyFans. We had to go to fans only.
Fans only, yeah.
It actually used to be a warehouse for ceiling fans and window fans, but we slipped some porn onto their site for them. You're welcome.
Oh, Bree, don't make me blush.
Oh, Joe, don't make me blush. What did Bree say to make you blush? Because what Joe said is the cat is a dirty bottom.
She's ready for, you know.
Here we go. Okay, so this article I found on Yahoo Life, BuzzFeed, or I don't know, wherever the fuck these things come from. The title of this article that we're going to play through is My Toaster Oven Does Not Need to Be Smart. People from all generations are sharing the boomer opinions they actually agree with. Now, first of all, can we say the term boomer is
No, I'm triggered.
made in ignorance because it originally referred to the baby boomer generation, and now they're applying it to like Gen Xers because we're as old as our parents were when our parents were old. Though we did learn something about Ed today, didn't we, Ed?
What we learned? That I'm old?
that you're actually in the baby boomer generation.
Yeah, I made it by a year.
By this much.
Just the tip. And yeah,
Just
Maria,
the tip's the boomer.
Maria asks, there's a smart toaster? Yeah. We're going to go into that in a moment here. So, I'm just going to read these off and let us have our moment of comment. We kind of have started really enjoying doing these little list things we're doing. You know what, Maria? I am genuinely using a fucking cane now, and I can beat you young whippersnappers with my damn cane. Bree says, I've never seen a smart toaster. That's okay. A toaster's never seen a smart Bree either. So there we I know, I'm a horrible bastard. Okay, so say what you will about the boomer generation, but even as a millennial myself, I can admit they might just be right about a thing or two. So here's some things that younger folks... That's right. Joe says my cane will be stylish as fuck with a fedora. Yeah, and it is. I still look old, though, if not older. And Bree says, I know I'm a blonde, but I could be smart one day. Oh, she said some days. I'm sorry. Okay, so number one. This is, again, a younger person, a millennial, sharing their opinion that they agree with something a boomer says. Quote, people share way too much on social media. You don't need to record every second of your life. Live in the moment every once in a while. This is where you guys get to throw your 2 cents in on that.
Somebody said that?
Don't you remember? See, that's what happens when you get old.
Truth.
Yeah, it's...
Well, people are sharing way too much, and I understand you think everybody should know everything about you, but it's not safe. Because I know people that have gotten robbed, or, it's not good.
I have recently read a few articles on how much your GPS being on your phone tracks you. Even when put into airplane mode, it still tracks you. It just doesn't tell you until after you come out of airplane mode that it was doing it.
Mm.
Yeah, that was interesting. And by the way, Maria says, nothing wrong with taking a pic to remember a moment, but you don't need 100 gigabytes of video of your day-to-day life. This is something Andrea and I have a problem with, is we forget to take pictures. We will spend however many hours doing an event and then just be like, fuck, we didn't even get a picture of our outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Of our wedding.
Yeah, there was that.
Good thing other people had camera phones, because...
And Bree says, I try to stay off my phone on my days off, but it's so hard sometimes. But you do have memories. That's important. Okay. Yeah, well, Joe, that's absolutely right. Joe says, I feel like people are competing to reveal more and more about themselves to gain more attention. It's also an addictive psychological thing.
True.
What, Ed?
That is a true statement. I don't understand the attention getting these days, and it's attention getting in a way that back in my day, the boomer generation would have been considered very negative to get attention that way. Yeah,
Absolutely. And hey, Mama Bear, good to see you popping into the tavern. We're recording Talk of the Tavern. This is our podcast, and we're going to be recording well, when it ends, stick around and you'll hear the rest. We're going to get back to the topic here. Number 2 on this list is touchscreens. Screw touchscreens. I want physical buttons, especially in the car when I don't want to take my eyes off the road. Physical buttons are just more accessible for people with disabilities, and they're generally more satisfying to push.
I agree with this. Case in point, when that deer like destroyed my car as I was driving, and I was trying to call. If I had, like back in the day, the flip phone count number, it was really hard to call because that was before I had like the navigation system where I could just push a button and say, "Hey, call so and so."
Right.
So yeah, I get that.
Ed, you got any preference?
I love touchscreens, especially in the car, because now you can get so many different things on that one little screen.
That's
that
true.
Are just the radio. I can get other shit up there too to take up that.
See, I'm waiting for keyboards. In Silver and Smith, as I mentioned the series earlier, keyboards are a flat piece of plastic that have a cord going into the computer, and basically it's like a flat screen laying on your desk that is your keyboard, and you just tap this piece of graphene. And yeah, but there's no actual keys. So I think that's coming.
They have something kind of like that now, but you plug it in and it shines like the keyboard laser lights on your desk or wherever, your flat surface, and you type, and it just like, I don't know how it works, but I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, when you break the beam of light, it actually registers a keystroke. Giraffe, can you lay down so I can read my screen, you big galoot? Couple of comments. Joe says that's an interesting one. As someone who hates getting smudges on my screen, I wouldn't mind sticking with buttons. Maria says, I disagree. While I love a keyboard for writing, touchscreen is a lot easier for games and such. That's very true. Bree says, I'm so used to touchscreens now, it doesn't seem to bother me. I like them. And then Maria says, am I the only one not using their phone while driving? And I said, Maria, don't yell at me. Let's see here. And Maria says, I don't know. Tony Stark was all touchpad and his shit was... Okay, can we get that where it's a projection and you can put your hands in it and make it bigger or smaller? Not talking about your penis, Ed.
I was going to say, I get my hands in it, makes it bigger.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry, had to look away. Employee issue.
Yeah, I figured as much. So I was just covering it. I knew if I mentioned your penis, you'd be back in on this.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
Anyhow, with touchscreens, I don't know. I kind of want a phone with an actual dial pad. And by the way, can we get a fucking switch on my phone that turns that full keyboard into just a number pad? So when I'm typing things in,
that would be nice.
I don't have to take my big old fat ogre-sized fingers and try to touch these little teeny pinhead buttons on my screen. That's fair, Bree. Bree thinks they already have that technology and haven't shared.
This is why my phone is so old, but this is why I love the Note. Comes with the pen.
Yeah, but then you have to use two hands.
Whatever.
Sometimes it requires two hands.
Get off your penis, which is what you had to say to her. And
okay.
So, number 3, TV is getting too dark and too quiet. I swear we have to turn the volume up twice as loud as we have it to watch Yellowstone. You better believe the commercials have plenty of volume, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the Batman movies are a lot of them are. You can't see what's going on because it's too dark. And unless you have one of the brand new high def whatever TVs, you can't see shit.
Right. So, all good, Ed?
All good. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Joe says, I don't have much to say about TV. I haven't watched TV in years. Here's what I'll say. Now, with the newer TVs, Andrea and I learned this when we replaced our 10-year-old flat screen that wasn't even top of the line when I bought it a year or two ago. Suddenly, a lot of the scenes that were too dark, we could fucking see them now. Because the definition had changed in that time. So now the dark isn't as much of a problem, but that sound thing. Yeah. Remember, like, when computers first came out, I know when they first came out, like 5 years after they came out, on your, like, Microsoft Windows Media Player, you had a setting where it would level all music the same volume. So whether it was a soft ballad or a heavy metal slamming thing, it was all the same volume. Can we get that shit for our TV so the whisper is as loud as the explosion?
No.
Or
I don't
vice
think
versa?
we can, because I think the people, whoever designs that, also designs the crazy parking lots at Target.
Okay, can we take a moment and talk about parking lots? Who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to design a goddamn mall, Walmart, any parking lot and put bushes right on the edge where you're trying to turn out of the parking lot so you can't see oncoming traffic? Who's that goddamn genius, and can we take him out back and beat him for a little bit?
I'm fucking mad, kids.
So the poles, the light poles in the parking lots, they have cameras on it, and they're just watching and laughing.
Yeah.
By the way, Maria says, me either. Everything I watch is on my laptop, sometimes YouTube, but the quality is going to depend on the channel. And for the parking lot, she says, ambulance drivers, they got bored one day at work and said, I know what'll make us busy. Goddamn health professionals trying to kill us all.
Aren't they?
Well, you know what? We've got stories recently, don't we? All
Yeah,
fucking three of us.
Yeah, we got lots of stories.
You want to hear some boomer shit? So I read in one of my books recently, like one of my characters was like, oh, he's getting to that age where he's got prescriptions, and the people his age are always talking about, their latest doctor visit. He never wanted to be that person. And I wrote this like 2 years ago, and I'm like, uh-oh. I'm getting to be that. Fuck. I'm getting to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Bree says we already have World War III approaching. Might as well have another pandemic. Apparently, Canada has turned their doomsday clock to 90 seconds.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like, when was the Bay of Pigs, Ed?
60,
It hasn't been that close since then.
early 60s.
So when you were born is what I'm hearing? Ed was born, they went, fuck.
No, it was before me. Kennedy was still in office.
Okay.
Kennedy wasn't.
Maria says, and this is your public service announcement to take your meds. A fun fact, at least she's not just talking to the old people anymore. It used to be only the old people. Now, all ages. Hey, you're 3? You could be on meds too. Back in my day. So,
Truth.
number 4. I hate going to concerts and seeing everyone with their phones up, video recording the whole thing. What's the point in paying for a concert ticket if you're not going to dance or actually enjoy it? And Brie, yeah, gummies counts as meds.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
So what do you guys think? I don't know. I haven't been to a concert since the phone era.
Neither have I.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I went to a concert, the phones didn't really have video capability.
Well,
What's up, boomer?
but I have been to school events for my child, and everybody's got a camera up, and they're like holding it up. So if I want to take a picture, I've got to hold mine higher than theirs.
You can't even see your kid.
You got a deficit there, don't you?
Are you calling me short? Is that what I'm hearing right
No.
here? No. Hey, Bob Watkins, good to see you. different Bob than we were talking about earlier, just so you know, Ed.
What up, Bob?
Yeah, it's... Oh, got some dance going on. See, Maria says it happens all the time with dance competitions. And Bob, just so you know, we're recording our podcast here. We're live recording it with chat and interacting with you guys. So Bob says not only recording, it's the new Bic lighter using flashlight. So Andrea and I started rewatching that 70s show. And they had him at a concert.
I've never seen it before.
They had him at a concert, and it was like, I think before everybody had a Bic, most people had Zippos holding them up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so much better than holding up a Bic, because those Bics, they get hot. Yeah, then they go out and you try to flick them again, and you permanently like scar your thumb with the little jagged wheel thing. Let's see here. I feel like I missed something here. Yeah, Maria says on the concert thing, I was going to record the last concert I went to, but was so lost in music I forgot to. Took some pics of the people I was with. Maybe a short clip, but not the whole thing. I think that's fair. I think, getting a 30-second part of a song, or maybe even a whole song, whether it's a school concert or a, big old rock concert, whatever. But yeah, to hold your phone up for all that time. And whose fucking battery lasts that long anyway?
What gets me is when you try to go to a movie and someone is in front of you with their phone on recording it.
Okay, that makes Travis cranky even when I wasn't an old man. Andrea's been in the theater with me where there's like 8 people, including Andrea and I, in the theater. And this guy with his 2 kids decides to turn his phone on and like play games or text or search the internet at that point for like 10 minutes. And yeah, Travis, who's a meek little man and doesn't like to say shit to people, opened his fucking mouth. The guy did put his phone away. So, Maria says at some concerts they have a money grab where you can buy light up things now. They did it for 1D. So light up things don't bother me. Yeah, light up things don't bother me. If you want to get glow sticks, if you want to get, the necklaces, whatever, that's cool. That adds to the atmosphere, etc. Oh, look at Ed whipping his bits around for everyone to see.
_just_a_not cheered. X700.
Thank you, Ed. Let's raise a glass to Ed. We forgot our opening toast.
We did.
So
we just started running
here's to being old, where you forget shit like the opening toast. Okay, boomers, let's go on. 5. I will never own an e-reader. I understand why it's convenient to have, because you can carry a bunch of books with you at all times, but nothing compares to a real paper book. I especially love secondhand books because they're pre-loved and you can tell someone really enjoyed the book if it's a little beat or a little bent and beat up. It makes me want to read it more. One of the first things people notice about me when they meet me is my handlebar mustache. It's big, it looks like a perma smile on my face, and it really makes people react. I mean, I have strangers walk up to me all the time and say, I love your mustache, or, oh my God, how did you do that? I've had younger people walk up to me and say, hey, can I touch your mustache? I want to see what that feels like. Of course, I was pre-COVID, so maybe that's different now. But my point is, having a handlebar mustache is something that adds a touch of class to you. It adds finesse and a mystique that other people are drawn to. It adds an old-timey sense of fashion that even when you're wearing your most modern clothing, like workout clothes or whatever, it gives a little something extra to your appearance that makes people drawn to you. So the one product I've used since I first started testing mustache waxes, and I tested like a dozen of them for a book I was writing, Steampunk for Simpletons. The one I chose that was the best was Firehouse Mustache Wax. That wax helps my mustache keep its shape all day long. I've worked in restaurants, and still at the end of an 8 or 10 hour shift working in the kitchen, my mustache still has its shape and body and volume. It's an incredible product. And if you're interested in trying Firehouse Mustache Wax, then go to firehousemoustachewax.com. That's Firehouse Mustache, MOUSTACHE, wax.com, and use the code Travis15 to get 15% off your order. You should try them out right now. This stuff is incredible. And if you need tips on how to shape it or use it or grow it, you let me know and I'm going to help you out. That's firehousemoustachewax.com and use the code Travis15. And happy waxing. What do you think?
Torn.
What?
I'm torn on this one.
I thought you said porn. I'm like, you don't do those on the e-reader. But you could read porn on the e-reader.
I can get porn on my e-reader?
Yeah, you can buy erotica.
Yeah, and then everybody doesn't see it.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm torn on this one because I do like the convenience of when I travel and so forth and so on. I have all my books.
Right.
But I do love the feel of just sitting down with a book. There's nothing. Well, there's nothing like that. Yeah,
right.
I'll say that.
It's a unique situation, unique feel. Andrew, you got some thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I think they both have their place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do not like the e-reader for my school books.
Right. Or
I don't like a PDF for my school books because I need to see and turn the pages and write.
My tabletop role-playing games. I want a real fucking book for that. And by the way, Bob says 2 words, font size. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, a lot of people are agreeing with you, Ed, and also kind of there with you, Andrea. Maria says, why not both? I have an e-reader, a Kindle app on my phone, and real books. What I like about the e-reader / app is you can read without having to lug a book around in your bag if you don't have space. And Bree says, I use both Kindle and an actual book. Here's what I'll tell you. The one reason I don't like lugging around books is because I don't buy that raggedy book because it's pre-loved. I try to get as pristine a book as I can because I love my bookshelf to look neat. I don't mind a raggedy one if I can't find another one, especially since that one will stand out in this nice, neat thing. But I don't want to crack.
Don't open it all the way so the pages don't get bent, so you're reading it like this.
I do to a point.
That will be me.
Right. And especially with Robert Jordan books or George Martin books, if they have cheap glue on that spine, it doesn't matter. You can open that thing a third of the way and that spine is fucking cracking anyway. So, see, Bob says I bought Modern Chess openings on Kindle and the formatting made the book useless. Lots of tables and such. Bob, my children's books that I publish under Joe Wilson, I feel like they need to be in a book form, and I took down the e-versions because it didn't work. It didn't work. Couple other comments, if I may, guys. Joe says, I love the feel of physical books, flipping through actual pages, smelling that new paper smell, running my fingers along the binding. This has turned sexual with this guy. That's awesome. Bree says, lately, because I live with my parents running out of space, I have been buying Kindle books more until I have my own place and more space. Yeah. And that's great for that. Maria says, I find physical books to me are more collectors than things to drag around and chance getting hurt. I agree.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary pops in and says, I read Ulysses online, but only because it had the necessary referencing highlighted in the text. I bought an old 1945 copy, would have personally preferred it as opposed to the online version, but as a first-time reader, this was a practical choice. So what I'm hearing is pros and cons. Pros and cons. They both have their place in this world, and I agree. Andrea, what do you got?
Here's a physical book.
Right.
I cannot read the PDF of the bagpipe book because I'm not good at reading music. I have to make notes.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point. And it would be different if with my e-reader, when I made it larger to read music, if the fucking e-reader expanded. But now like half of it is off the goddamn screen and I can't read it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to carry an e-reader because it doesn't ruin my books, but I do like a book. Another nice thing is if I'm reading at night in bed, e-readers are going to bother Andrea when she's asleep less than having a light on.
Yeah, because the Kindle Paperwhite is great.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like paper. It's not blaring at you like a computer screen.
And also,
It's
I like an e-reader as opposed to a tablet with an app on it. I like my e-readers to be just books. I don't want to check my email. I don't want to hear my social media going off. I just want to read a fucking book. Okay, let's see here. Number 6. I like being able to read articles online without being asked to enter an email, create an account, give my phone number, etc. Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Just raise your hand and say preach.
Yes.
That's right. We are all turning into a Baptist church at this moment with amen.
There was an article today I wanted to read, and it's like, put in your email to subscribe. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
You get the
Not
first
happening.
3 paragraphs and then fuck you. And pop-ups, oh my God. I don't mind like one pop-up, but there are some sites you are getting 3, 4, 5 pop-ups and a video playing somewhere on the screen you're not even at.
Yeah. What the hell?
Okay, let's see here. Number 7. Okay, that's fair. Joe says, I've left so many articles because of pop-ups. It's nuts. Yeah, there's times where looking on my phone when I'm bored, instead of going to social media, sometimes I try to go to like Google News.
Yeah.
And read a fucking article once in a while. You know, I love the science stuff. I love the nerd stuff. You know, what movies are coming out, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, there are some of them. I'll go there and it comes up with this stuff and I'll flip back to that main page, click those 3 dots and go, never show me something from these people again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was so interested in the article till they pulled that shit.
Yeah.
Joe, the cookies thing is because people bitch about privacy. That is not the website's fault. That is like what they have to do by law now. Because people don't assume when you're online somebody's fucking tracking your ass.
You're not private. Come on.
Okay, here's one. And I'm glad to hear it's not just us old people. You ready? Number 7. I just want to speak to a real person on the telephone when I have to call a business. Anybody want to argue this one?
Can you call a business on the phone anymore? Or do you have to go to the website? Or do you have to download their app and then use their app to get support?
So, what I hate is going to the automated menu, putting in your account number and all the things, and then answer. You get a person, and they're like, "What's your account number?" I just put it in 3 times. What the hell?
I hate it when you have the automated menu and they're like, press 1 if you have a second head. Press 2 if your car is missing a tire. Press 3 if squirrels stare at you. And you're like, okay, I don't have any of those problems.
Right. So what do I choose?
What am I pressing? I don't have squirrel tires or a second. What? Just
no, you're standing there holding the phone, screaming, "Representative."
Yes.
I'm pressing 0 like a madman, like I'm trying to send a fucking SOS. See, Bree says, I hate talking to people, but it's definitely easier to talk to a real person about a problem. Maria says, oh dear God, the amount of people at my old job who were so pissed because they were dealing with an automated system or 20 minutes trying to get a person. Trust me, the people at the other end of the phone hate the automated menu as well. Also, Andrea, I can answer that. A lot of the time, the system takes the info in case it can help you. but doesn't transfer the info to the agent.
Yeah,
Talk
whatever.
about a software failure.
Yeah.
That's
No.
like bullshit right there.
I understand that agent confirming they have the right person on the other end of the phone. I understand that. But maybe ask me something different. Ask me my phone number, the last four of my social, not whatever I just typed in. So, okay. See, this is something I've bitched about since I was young. Hold on, I'm skipping one. We'll get to that one in a moment. Number 8, paying good money for a product that doesn't do the thing it says on the box until you install their bullshit app on your phone.
Yep.
The fuck? Andrea, have you had this issue?
A lot. I don't like it.
With what kind of products? Because Maria's like, I've never had this problem.
A lot of it is with maybe not products, but medical stuff. Like just trying to make an appointment and you have to log in and do an app and jump through a hoop and sell your soul.
It's true.
It's true.
Or how about that car you bought?
My car?
Yeah. To use half the shit on that touchscreen that Ed's so happy about in the car, you have to fucking get your phone connected to it somehow.
So here's the thing. If I would pay for the internet for my car, I wouldn't have to, but because Verizon doesn't work out here.
Yeah, and how much is that?
$200 a year.
Fucking nickel and dime you to death. It's a goddamn vampire system. We're going to subscribe you into poverty.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay. We'll jump to the next one. Number 9. This is one I bitched about since I was like in my late teens. Music in bars is too loud. I just want to find one bar where I can talk to my friends without screaming. Yeah.
Yes.
I've never understood it. By the way, again, we're watching not that 70s show, but the new one, that 90s show. See, Bob says 100%. And for years, decades, I've been bitching about this. But in that 90s show, they went to a rave. And through the whole rave, you know how normally, like in the scenes in movies, they talk to each other. Maybe they're shouting a little, but you can hear them clearly on your TV. They had no voice volume at all. It was just music with subtitles as they screamed at each other. And I'm like, so true. So true.
They're true, yeah.
You don't go to a rave to talk to people. I'm sorry.
I don't go to raves, but
Well, but see, back in my day, you did go to the bar to talk to people because the girl had to hear your Mac line when you was throwing it down. Now I'm out there trying to talk my shit and they can't hear nothing coming out of my mouth.
yeah,
Just send over a drink.
I feel
That's
bad for
all
like
they need to
security or the bartenders, especially as you get old. You know, if you're 20, you got that good hearing, you haven't fucked it up with all the lawnmowers and power tools and earbuds yet. But once you're like, even at 30, you're just like, what? Can you just write it down?
Subtitle. Read the subtitles.
That's right. Can we get IRL subtitles? Wiggle your eyebrows and see, Maria says to Ed, can't you just wiggle your eyebrows and suddenly their panties hit the floor?
Panties will hit the floor. Okay.
Isn't that a song? Panties hit the
Sounds
floor.
like it.
Panties hit the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different if they hit the flow versus hit the floor, though. So we'd have to actually pronounce it. That's a gusher. Okay, number 10. You really should put your phone down when you're out to eat with people, because maybe I grew up with that rule. Maybe it's because I grew up with that rule, but I know when I'm getting lunch with a friend or something, I find it incredibly irritating when they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, like Ed, you checked your phone, you stepped away for a call here in the middle of a show. There are times you check your phone. but you're not going to your social media and scrolling through it. Yeah, Andrea?
But sometimes when you go to that restaurant, you have to have the app so you can read the menu.
Oh, that is fair.
That's true.
And by the way, I think that's in this list somewhere.
I hate that.
Yeah. Bree says, yeah, that bugs me when I'm trying to enjoy time with my friend and they're on their phone. There are times I do tell them, like, hey, can we just put down our phones and talk?
Or should we dare each other?
See, there are also other times where Andrew and I have been together 10 years. There are times we pick up our phone, but usually if we're going to scroll through social media, we're already sitting on the same side of the table next to each other, and we're like watching cat videos together. We are interacting together. And Maria says, I agree and disagree. When I go to eat with the kid, we talk and chat while waiting for food or whatever. We chat online with others too, and it doesn't bother us. If I'm out with someone else and the kid is home or wherever, the phone is on the table in case the kids need me. Yeah, that's reasonable. But also, if I were to go on a date, which Andrea and I started dating like right as smartphones with touch screens were coming into existence and popularizing. If I was to go on,
time ago.
Huh?
That was a long time ago.
It was. Yeah, I was fucking with her the other day, reminding her that like when this movie that came out in 2002, that's over 20 years ago now. More than 20 years. But yeah, if you're on a date and the person is on their phone, it's like, well, why are we on a date trying to get to know each other? Why don't you just sit here with your phone and I'm just going to fuck off and go home or something? I'm going to go to a bar that's really loud where I can't hear people. Here's something that's interesting. I like this. Speaking of phones, I forgot to mute mine. I'm muting mine now. I like CDs better than digital music. I just think they sound better, and they're way easier to play in the car than having to screw around with an auxiliary cord or Bluetooth connection.
I'm torn.
See, for me, I like owning a fucking physical item when I pay money.
Right.
Because when that company collapses, and they all do eventually,
they will.
Where's my fucking movie or music or whatever? On the other hand, I do love being able to take a CD, burn it to my hard drive, load it to my phone, and have 500 songs on my phone. I do like that.
So CDs, cassettes, records, whatever, they're all great. But one thing about the digital or streaming is you can make a playlist of just what you want to listen to at the time, or make playlists for different moods.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It's like making your own CD, your own mixtape.
Yeah. It's like making your own CD. Yeah, I'm torn in that respect. I'm with Andrea. I don't have to fool with burning the CD to the computer, making up the playlist, I can just do the digital, make up the playlist. I love it. That's great. But like Travis, when I pay money for something, I want to have a physical thing to show for it.
Yeah. That being said, we did get rid of all our CDs.
I still have over 1,000.
Yeah, I should have offered it to them. Bob says, every car we've owned, the CD player has died, trapping our favorite CDs inside.
Now they don't even come with it.
No, they don't.
See, at least with the CDs, you can usually get them back out. With a tape, that fucker ate that goddamn tape. Okay, this is kind of a rehash of one we already went over, but I'm going to read it anyway. And it's kind of long, so bear with me here. Number 12, automated menus on customer service lines are the worst. My doctor's office has an automated menu for scheduling appointments, which is fine and dandy except for the fact that it has 4 layers of automation before you get to speak to an actual person. And if you press the number you want too soon, it will restart the whole menu. Sometimes once you're finally getting through to a real number, the phone rings for 45 seconds before automatically disconnecting, at which point in time, you have to go through the menu all over again. Screw automated menus. I think this just kind of says stuff we already said.
Yeah.
I don't
Fuck
think
that shit.
we need to rehash that, but okay. And by the way, Andrea, number 13. Paper menus are far superior to QR codes. Half the time the menu won't even load. Good God.
Yeah, what if your phone is dying? I always forget to charge my phone.
What if you don't want to be staring at your phone because you like to put it down when you're hanging out with somebody at a restaurant?
What? Crazy talk.
And that's fair. Maria says the automated menus are only as good as how much you pay the design team. Find all of our incredibly entertaining and educational podcasts on Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Google, and other fine podcast distributors. Check them all out, including Tavern Reflections and The Traveler's Inn. Make sure you like, share, and spread the word. Bree likes paper menus, hate QR. The nice thing about the QR code menus is you can make them larger. So you can read them in dim light. That's nice.
Well, so something that kind of plays, between both of it. Some of the restaurants you go to, I know thing on the table, and you can order on that. You don't have to scan anything. You don't have to have a paper menu. You can do your little order there. You pay there, and you can play games.
That's true. Yeah, Olive Garden has that shit.
Olive Garden, that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, and Bree says, I know the reason why it started was because of COVID, and it does have its advantages, but yeah, don't make me. And also, when it loads a PDF to your phone, and it downloads that PDF, now you have to figure out where the fuck that PDF
Where'd
is.
it go?
And some of those PDF readers in your phone, if you try to do this, it writes on the goddamn screen instead of making it larger.
The struggle is real.
First world problems, bitches.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. For the topic that started it all. See, it is. Bree says, knowing if your phone is dying. Number 14. Tell me, why would anyone really want a smart fridge or toaster? I don't want the new shiny thing. I want something that works and lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be me.
Sorry.
You were saying, Andrew?
The refrigerator with a TV in it, so you can see what it is while you're at the store.
Yeah, they have, in case somebody out there doesn't know, there are okay, Maria says those are, cool. It's a cool idea, but I will write a list. I don't need to connect to my fridge on my phone so I can look inside of it while I'm at the store going, how's the mayonnaise?
Well, okay. I agree with that, but then I don't agree with that because we went to the store the other day. We had a list. We wrote it out. And then it got lost in Travis's pocket. And we couldn't remember what was on the list.
Because we're old.
Google Home. You guys got Google phone or Android? Oh, Android?
We have Android phones, and we do have like Alexas, if that means anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Or Google Home on your Google phone. Put your grocery list on.
Nah. Usually what I do is I just snap a picture of the list. And then look at that and delete it later.
Because we didn't do that. We frantically wrote a list before we went into the store.
Teresa likes that because while she's sitting at the house and I'm in the grocery store, the list starts to grow.
Maria
so
says,
I can't say I forgot it,
You have to use the excuse, I was already in the car, I wasn't going back in.
Mm-hmm.
Maria says, when they break, which happens all the time, the parts to repair them is insane.
Yeah.
I do like the fridge I saw, which was also a Keurig machine all in one. Can you imagine trying to clean that, though?
No, a fridge is supposed to be cold. A Keurig is hot. No, just no.
Well, there is that. Bob says, not only that, but smart devices have software and you don't own that. And Bree mentions, no thanks to smart technology, everything is already listening to us. I don't need my toaster and fridge recording me either.
I saw that movie.
Oh, geez. Maria says that she used to sell these parts for these appliances. The computer boards alone for like the ice machine, you're looking around $1,000 US.
I used to sell the appliances. They're like $3,000 for some of them.
Yeah, I don't need an electronic fridge. I'm good with an electric one. Just plug it in.
We can go travel for $3,000. Have
Yes, true.
experiences.
Go to Europe for that.
Yeah.
Watched enough X-Files. I won't ride in a driverless car either. Can I say this about X-Files? Where the fuck did they buy their cell phones? They were in the 90s and they could get reception inside a 80-foot tractor trailer in the middle of the desert. But here I am in my house and I move 3 feet and my phone will go,
Because it's government technology
Yep.
for the X-Files,
tech.
not for us.
It's stuff they stole from the alien.
Okay, number 15. Young children are genuinely spending way too much time on tablets and other devices.
Truth.
My day. You go outside and you play with a stick or imagination.
Can we order an e-stick now?
Probably.
Yeah, here's the deal. Now, I realize a lot of people give their kids electronics to just keep them busy and keep them out of their face. I get it. I get it.
That's fine.
But if you throw them outside, they will find a stick and make it into 15 fucking different things. It will be a gun. It will be a car jack. It'll be a lasso. Yep, a stick can be a lasso. A sword, yeah.
Is some of that, though, the change in society today? Just had this conversation with Teresa the other day, and we were talking about that. And it's like, in my day, mom kicked you out in the morning. On the weekend, mom kicked you out in the morning. Didn't worry about where you were, who you were with, and where you went or anything. When the street lights came on, you came home.
Right.
Okay. Whereas in our society today, that's not particularly safe. So is that a part of the issue today? And I don't want to make light on this because I think kids do spend too much time on pads and cell phones. But is that part of the issue today?
No, I think it was more dangerous then than now.
Well, we did dangerous shit, that's for sure.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, some of this stuff. But now kids put everything online and they makes it unsafe.
By the way, Bob says if you send them outside, Child Protective Services will come take them away. If I had known that, I would have shoved a lot of my friends' kids outside a lot sooner because they are annoying little fucks. And Maria says, to be fair, Ed, it wasn't safe then either, but nobody talked about it.
I agree with that partially, but the old ladies in my neighborhood, they had news going around quicker than any network internet out there. So
that's fair.
You were safe, okay? Everybody knew where you were and what you were doing. Your mom knew before you even got home.
Okay,
Yeah.
now this goes back to something somebody just said. I think it was Joe. Joe said that TikTok has taken over our youth. More of the adults, but number 16, children are being brainwashed by TikTok and Instagram in the sense that they can't focus on anything for more than a few seconds at a time. And I feel that social media is making them majorly desensitized to things. This is a whole show by itself. Go on, Andrea.
Kids, I mean, back in our day, it happened too, but I think more so now.
Your mom.
The younger generation has to be constantly stimulated and entertained. I don't think they understand how to just be. That's a lot of the problem.
Right. John jumps in and says the cops were less of a worry in the Bronx versus them taking you to your mom. And Maria says, listen, TikTok is freaking addictive. You think you're going it for 5 minutes, 5 hours later, you realize you're still on the app. Yeah. TikTok and Instagram isn't the first thing. There are psychological studies about the way humans take information, and getting information is addictive because it's a survival skill. So, when we first had radio, people listened to the radio, newspapers, people were addicted to that. Books, people in the day would be like, that kid is always looking at a book. And we could look at, Beauty and the Beast, Disney with Belle, but this really happened. They're like, it's going to rot your brain. You're not living your life. You're hiding in a book. Then TV and movies. And this is just the next step where we can get that addictive pulse of information quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yeah, but, I love TV. And then I love Instagram because today I learned how to make bread out of chicken. I just,
A couple of comments. We'll jump to the next one because, like I said, we could do an hour conversation on this alone. Joe says, I heard from a video that the algorithm on TikTok for China is different than ours. With theirs, it's always about achievement. For us, it's silly, dumb stuff. I thought that was interesting. Joe, you can flip your algorithm by interacting with Andrea and I. We love those little cooking videos, like the 90-second cooking videos or the science videos with the weird facts about animals or whatever. So a lot of that's what's popping up on ours instead of other stuff. Mind you, we still get our share of kittens and dance videos, don't get me wrong. And Maria says, are you telling me I was hyper-focused on the Johnny Depp case because it was for my survival?
No, that shit was funny.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Now, this kind of flips back to something we just said. 17. It's sad to me that many people don't have friendships with or even know their neighbors these days.
Well.
Yeah. You're not going to have your neighbor telling you your kid is fucking with somebody else's, garden gnomes. It's not going to happen anymore. And also, when we started doing certain things in our society where you can't discipline your children, you can't do this, you can't discipline somebody else's children, can't even speak to them, a lot of that went away because we're scared of saying something to someone else because of the repercussions. Maria says, can't relate. I know a lot more than I would like about my neighbor. Stop staring through their window with the binoculars. Damn it.
Creeper.
Andrea, this relates to something you said. 18, people should be wary of posting photos of their kids on social media. I find it really disturbing that nowadays there are photos of kids on social media quite literally while they're still in the womb. I don't know, it's hard to kidnap a kid that's still in the womb. I have less problem with that than... Yeah.
So there's this thing I read, I forgot, it's like one of the Jenners, Kylie or I don't know. Their kid is now like one or just posted a photo of the kid. So it's like the regular everyday person is showing everything about their kids, everything. And the people that are more in the public eye, the media, they're not doing that. Which it used to be reversed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Joe says, for a baby still in the womb, you got to kidnap two people. Who wants that? Joe, I don't get kidnappers at all. Why would you want to kidnap somebody? You got to feed them, make sure they go to the bathroom, house them. I'm sorry, I'm going to commit a crime that gives me extra responsibility. Fuck that.
Lazy.
Maria says, okay, real story. Posting pictures of kids can be a real issue. Friend of the family had all photos of her kids removed from everything because their grandfather was convicted of being a pedo, didn't want him knowing what the kids looked like. All it would take is a pic of someone to target her children.
Right.
Okay. 19. Just because you contact me immediately Just because you can contact me immediately by phone and text doesn't mean I should be expected to respond right away and be constantly accessible. I miss the days when you just turned on the answer machine and lived your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still do that shit.
Do you have an answering machine?
Voicemail. No, my point is, I will put my phone in the other room and walk away from it.
My personal phone is on silent or vibrate or in my car most of the damn time, even when I'm not in my car. If there are a select few people, they know if they want to get me, call my work phone.
Andrea, my wife, ran across this tea, and she came rushing up to me, and she's like, you've got to check this out. And it's called tit teas. So if you hear me saying titties right now, you know where I'm going. It's tit teas, Titteas. And we looked at them, and first of all, right away, you see they've got this sense of humor. And I've been talking to Mike from Titties and just really enjoying his sense of humor. He signs off every email with breast regards. It's incredible. Which, speaking of breasts and titties, 5% of Titties' monthly revenue is donated to Breast Cancer Research Foundation to support breast cancer research and awareness programs. So, right away, they're in it for more than just the money. But, looking at what they have, we did get a kit from them, and we got the Titties Tit Kit. And it came with 4 different loose teas, an herbal tea, which they call sips tea, some green tea, big yikes, white tea, champagne, and black tea, which is my favorite, which is It's Lit Fam. It also came with a scoop and steep tea infuser, which is pretty cool. And they give you a little breakdown of each one, and just that sense of humor rolls through each and every single one. But the product themselves, because I don't know if you guys know this, but every time I record audiobooks, I have a big old mug of hot tea to keep my throat going. And Titties has become a regular part of my rotation of something to pop in my mouth to keep my throat soothed. It's incredible. They describe It's Lit Fam, which is the black tea. It's a blend of black tea, cinnamon, orange peel, clove, Sagon cinnamon. And they describe it tastes like Fireball and Regret. And it's got a high caffeine amount, which helps keep that energy up while I'm recording. But it's got a great blended flavor. These folks are genius. And the real beauty part of this is when I reached out to them to talk about their tea, and I got this box of tea, we ended up working it out where you guys can get a discount on your order. So if you go to titteas, TITTEAS.com and use the code Travis20, you're going to get 20% off your order from Mike and his wife. They're a small business. They're doing this out of love. They're helping other people. You can't go wrong with a great product with people who are awesome. So check it out, titteas.com, and use that code Travis20 to get 20% off your order. And yeah, best regards.
That's the way to get me. I'm married to that. I have to leave that on. I get paid to. Yeah,
right.
My work.
I don't know where my phone is, and the ringer's not on.
Now, if you call my work phone, I'll probably answer it like I don't know who the hell you are, because I don't put my personal people's numbers in my work phone.
It's true. I've done that before. Ed didn't realize it was me. But also with Ed, when I text him or call him on his personal phone, I don't expect him to always answer immediately or at all. You know, it all depends on what it is I want. There's no reason it can't wait. And also, I appreciate when people put their phone on silent at night. This way, if they're in bed at 9 and I text them at 10, I'm not waking their ass up.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Maria says, disagree. The flashing notification on my phone makes me anxious as fuck, and I feel horrible if I don't respond right away. That's why I leave it in the other room, Maria. So I don't know.
Maria, go to notifications and turn that off.
Wait, you still have a phone that has a flashing light? Because they took that off my phone. It annoyed the fuck out of me. Because now I got to turn my screen on to see if there's a notification. Maria says, if you're calling for a booty call, he should answer right away.
Probably.
Okay. Maria, you ready for this one? Number 20. Using apps for everything is annoying. I just went to Disney World and I couldn't do anything, including eat, unless I used the app.
Mm-hmm.
What? You have to use the app to order food or get food? Is that real? Is that true?
Probably.
Maria says that comment is 100% right. She's a Disney file. She loves Disney, and she just typed, oh my fuck, Disney has ruined Disney. Mobile order. No. I wouldn't walk up to a counter and go, give me my wiener.
I was in a national park once that I go to because my phone doesn't work there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they have an app. And they were really... went into one of the visitor centers and they were out front, with big signs about their app, and they wanted to ask you questions about using their app, and I was like, it's no good to me. My phone doesn't work here. That's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. So okay. Picking out a video at the store was better than looking through Netflix for something to watch.
Sometimes. But when you wanted that one movie and they were all rented out.
Right. Pros and cons on this one. It was a family activity or a group activity or a couple activity or an activity. It was an activity to go to the video store, pick out a video, but then you had to return that shit too. That was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, with Netflix, it's always available. They're not all checked out.
Mm-hmm.
So you can watch what you want when you want.
And I don't have to get dressed.
See, Maria says, agree, I like looking at the movie covers like I would a book. I agree with that too. And by the way, Joe says, if you want a hug, you got to use my app. Yep, Maria says, I find online streaming services offer too much to be able to narrow your choices down. It does get difficult. And I'm waiting for the technology to catch up to where it's personalized enough. It suggests things that would actually appeal to you. But you can also go look at the shit you'd never look at in case suddenly I want a documentary when I usually watch comedies. I don't want them to hide the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, can they please put my list at the top of their streaming service instead of 5 to 12 layers down? And also, I'm old. When I highlight that one box, can we put it in the big box up top so I can actually see what it is instead of having to get up and crawl towards the TV to see what the hell I'm looking at? See, and that's fair. Maria says, my mood changes so much, algorithms don't typically work for me. Okay. And we're almost done with this list. I know we've ran this show a long time. We're almost done here. Just a couple more left. 22. Kids need to be raised as self-reliant as possible. They should learn all household chores to the best of their ability, including yard work, cooking, use of power tools, and car maintenance.
Agree.
And a young person said this one. This is something with, knowing how to cook a meal, not microwave it. Yeah, Andrea.
Read an analog clock and address an envelope.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard a parent say, I can't get them to clean their room.
What?
You what? My mom will fix that. She threw all their shit away.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, your children should learn to do the things they need to do to adult. Cooking, how to use a screwdriver, how to, replace a plug in the house, how to check their oil, change a
the oil,
tire.
change the spark plugs, points,
Maybe. That
belt.
that all depends. With some of these cars, changing those spark plugs, you gotta like fucking take out the engine to get to them now.
Practically.
I could do it if I had to, but I also know how to go someplace and pay someone to do it.
But that's important to teach them that too.
Yeah.
And how to tell the difference. Because you suddenly take the price of doing this task and it's 5-6 times more than doing it yourself when you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
And Maria says replacing a fatigued outlet is something everyone should know. It's easy and has to happen every few years. Yeah.
Yep.
And it is easy. See, and Bria says, I hate cars. I have to bring my car into Discount Tires on Wednesday to get my tires checked. There might be a leak. There is a point. I used to change my own I changed my alternator. I changed my brakes. I changed my oil. I replaced my radiator in a vehicle. And then I got to a point in my life where like, I am paying somebody to do this shit.
Well,
and it's easier than
like
ever.
you said earlier, it's so packed so damn tight.
Right.
Days.
And we've lost Andrea just for a second here. I'm sure she'll be right back. There she is. But yeah, it's there's pros and cons, and knowing which one you want to go with is fine. You don't have to do it all yourself. And when I got to a point where I didn't have to do it all myself because I wasn't as broke as I used to be, I started paying people to do these things because I don't want to. Especially when you got to buy a specialty tool every damn time you want to do something else on your car. Maria says, just make sure to shut the power off before teaching the lesson, unless it's your least favorite kid. Okay, we could touch on this one. Number 23 is 5-year-olds do not need smartphones. Yeah. It's true. They don't. Yeah. You can give them a video game system, whatever, but they don't need a smartphone, especially
you can give them
at
a
school.
Tracker.
Yeah.
Just give them a tracker, and you're good. You know where they are.
Yeah. But no, they don't need their own smartphone. And this is why, like, flip phones would be handy to still have. I mean, I guess they're still around. They're still, you still got burner phones at 7-Eleven.
So, baby toys.
Yeah.
Because when I worked retail and I worked in the baby departments, so the normal baby toys, the little mirror, the rattle, they have little smartphones.
Yep.
For babies. Just saying. And I saw in the toy section a Dyson, a play Dyson. It doesn't. What is the point of that?
Oh. Okay. 24. Ed, this one's for you. Instant communication at work. You can Slack me, email me, call me, text me after hours, and I will respond at 8 a.m. when I log in. 30 years ago, we did not have access to our employees after hours, and now that we do, it should not be expected.
No.
Now, Ed, you're in a position of authority, so yes, I understand you having it and having to have it.
Well, I don't use it. I have everybody's schedule, and I call them according to when they're working.
Right. But for them to reach out to you...
I wish they would do the same damn thing to me, though.
See, and we've discussed that before. Because it's one thing if there's an emergency, you're the boss, they got to get a hold of you. Okay, 2 a.m., you answer the damn phone. But when they call you at 2 a.m., call you at 2 a.m. to ask where their tax form is or some stupid ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or how many, things they're claiming on their W-2. The fuck?
Or at 7:30 at night when I'm getting ready to start a show.
Yeah, there we go.
That's exactly what the call was.
Was it really?
Where's my tax form?
Hey, Rachel's popping in. There's her theme music coming in. Gonna read a couple comments here. For the earlier thing about smartphones, Maria says, just give them a real vacuum. It ties into them knowing how to adult when they're of age. Maria says, I only work during paid hours. If they want to contact me outside, they can fuck off or pay me overtime. Bob says, I think the European Union has actually made that against the law. And Maria says, in return, if there's an issue, which has happened, I do not contact my boss until she clocks in, because I wouldn't put up with her contacting me off the clock. It goes both ways. Right, Ed?
Wish it did.
Okay, we've only got 2 more here, and this next one, near and dear to my heart. Andrea has heard me rant about this multiple times. Okay. Number 25. Quit being so loud when you're in public. Be respectful of others around you. Don't talk loudly on your phone or play games with the sound on. Don't use speakerphone. Don't play music without earbuds. Don't blast your music in a vehicle if you're in a residential area. If you want to listen to loud music, invest in headphones.
No more said.
What's it?
No more said.
Well, what drives me nuts is when they're like on FaceTime or Skype or whatever, and they're walking around yelling at their phone. I'm like, so this is a public conversation. I could jump in on this, right? Because you're in a fucking public place doing it.
Yeah.
By the way, they don't like that.
So when you were at the doctor, Travis,
Uh-huh.
there was a guy in the waiting room with his phone on speaker full blast, and he was like watching videos.
Good times. And Rachel says, oh my God, I scold my mom on that. She's guilty of all that. Bree says, I hate that shit. Maria says, the only exception to this, I would say, is when you're walking alone and feel creeped out. Ladies, you know the feeling. So you put your phone on speaker or speak louder to let anyone around you know you're not really alone. And that's fair, by the way. By the way, that is fair because the fucked up world we can live in sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's actually a great security tip. But at that point in time, yeah, you're creating a digital witness if something happens. So that's why I like to stream when I'm walking through bad neighborhoods. So if I get, taken down from behind, somebody can clip it, put it up as a highlight on Twitch. Okay, last one. Number 26. I don't understand the core benefit of read or seen in messaging apps. Fundamentally, it seems to create an unhealthy scenario that puts pressure on the receiver and unhealthy expectations from the texted.
Say again.
Okay, so when I text Andrea,
Right.
I can see when it was sent, when it was delivered, when it was read.
Okay.
Now, with me and her, that's fine. I liked it because when she's at work, oh, she's seen it. She'll get back to me. Okay. But with everybody else, Bree, have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
We're flipping back to the previous one here. Rachel says, I don't know the feeling, but I'm usually armed and have a dog or ram. Maria says, just start screaming, I have a knife. Wait, you're American. That won't work. No, you just open carry. Merca. Joe says the read scene thing bothers me more than it should. Like, if you see my message and don't respond, I'm like, how dare you? But there are times I'm busy, and yeah, I've seen it. I'll get back to you when I can.
Right.
So, on the other hand, There's times, matter of fact, just recently, I turned that feature off. Because I don't want somebody going, he's seen it, it's 8 o'clock at night, how come he's not answering me till 2 o'clock the next afternoon?
Work.
Because I don't want to deal with it right now, or I'm busy, or I'm relaxing, and you're asking me something that's not relaxing. I like Rachel's thought. She says, I just figured there's a 3 to 5 day workday grace period. It's yeah, and that might be fair. That's, if it's important, I will pick up the phone and call. Okay, let's wrap this episode up because we've ran a fairly long time. It was a good conversation though. And
Thanks, guys.
Any closing thoughts on all this stuff, folks? Ed?
Too much stuff to have a single closing.
Yeah, that's true. Andrew?
I gave all my comments already.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say, and I'll make this our closing toast. Maria says some boomer shit makes sense. Here's what I'll say. Yeah, a lot of this is common sense, not because somebody is old. So here's to fucking realizing we got to have our own life. And choose who we share it with when we do. Guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all your comments and everything. And we will catch you on the next Talk of the Tavern. And we will see you next time. Once the music stops. Then we'll, yeah. Bum, 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 bum.